Hi, everyone. Just waiting for a few people to join. Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome to Lit Black Girls. We are Black Girls Brunch, and we host a literature season for the month of June that celebrates all things Black women in literature. Oh, I'm having some technical issues. Bear with me. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've had a bit of a break, but we'll be posting much more frequently after this season, so you don't want to miss out. And also, we have just hit 2,000 followers on our Instagram, which is great. So if you don't follow us over there, then please do. And also, we'll be announcing a literature-themed giveaway on our Instagram this week. So obviously, you don't want to miss out. So go and follow us. Before we get into this chat with the amazing Oloni, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what is coming up this season. So you're all aware, everyone knows. So we have a writer's drop-in session on Sunday the 26th. So if you need a bit of accountability time to write, read, talk over your work, then come and join us. You can sign up. The link is in our Instagram bio, and I believe it's in our description box below as well. We also have been working for literally months on a productivity journal. So I love this, guys. Honestly, it's actually the best. It's basically a journal for writers, and it comes with like weekly what's it called, quotes by inspirational Black women, to-do lists. There's literally so much to do. There's journal prompts in there. So yeah, go and grab it. You can get it from Amazon, and 100% of the proceeds go to Black Girls Brunch, obviously. So yeah. We also have a theatre trip. Thank you. We also have a theatre trip, and it's coming up this Thursday. So we're going to the Hampstead Theatre, and we're going to see The Fellowship. We have about 6 tickets left. So if you want to come, please do. And the link is below as well. So please join us. And lastly, before we get into it, we are a non-profit organisation. So we create safe spaces for Black women and non-binary people on and offline, and we are run entirely by non-paid volunteers. So if you do have the means to support our work, then we do have a Patreon link for monthly donations down below, or a one-off link for payments as well in the description box below. Also, happy Beyonce Day, guys. So exciting. Okay, so let me just check and make sure Oloni is ready. I'm so excited for this, guys. Okay, yes, okay. I'm just gonna and then I'll do a little intro. Okay. So I have been very excited about this. It's my first live in a while, and I mean, yeah, the fact that it's with this person is genuinely fantastic. What they're doing to build an online community, and what they're continuing to build is amazing. Just a little bit about her, if you don't know, she's a British Nigerian sex positive educator and relationship advisor. She runs the award-winning platform for sex and relationships, Simply Oloni, and the No Holds Barred Sex and Relationships podcast, Laid Bare, which I'm sure we all love. Like we know, where they discuss sexual encounters, current affairs, and obviously she gives great advice. She talks about sexual consent, dating, STIs, abortion, all of it. And it's amazing. It's so educational, so empowering, so helpful, especially amongst, people of color. So I'm so excited to welcome her. I'm going to add her now.
Mm-hmm. Hey! Oh my God, it feels so dark in here. Oh my God, I think I'm going to try and switch on I didn't know it was this dark. Can I switch on the light? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I can't hear you actually. Let me turn
Can you
up.
Can you hear me?
Hang on, sorry.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sound issues.
Oh, well, maybe I should unplug them.
Oh, here we go.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Perfect.
Okay. I need to turn on I want to turn on my lights. I thought the sunlight would be good, but I look just.
Don't worry. Don't
so I just
worry.
want to turn on the light. Just 1 second.
That's okay.
Oh, I hope this helps. Just want to make sure.
I mean, you do look beautiful, so.
Oh, thank you. You too as well, darling. Okay, I think this is better.
Yes, hi.
Right. Hey.
Thank
everyone.
you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Honestly, the little inner fangirl of me, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Oloni.
Oh, oh, you're so sweet.
How are you? Do you have a drink? I've got water, but
do you know what? I've got the amazing present you guys sent. I didn't want to open it just yet, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, that's
really appreciate it. So I'll be popping that open as soon as I finish my water. It is so hot today. Like, I feel like I'm melting. Like, literally, It's so hot today.
Water girls, I love it. I love that for us. Also, I mentioned it before, but happy Beyonce Day. Honestly.
Yes. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the album. I can't wait.
Have you listened to the single yet?
I'm a terrible person because I actually listened to the leak. I'm sorry. I know, but I had to. It came on my timeline, and I said, "Listen, like, I don't want to pretend. Let me just listen to it." So I did. I know I'm bad, but yeah. So I had to. I couldn't stay up. I was just like, I need to sleep. Like, my sleep is very important to me. So as soon as I listened to the leak, I was like, "Ooh, this is good." I already had the quotes out. I was already tweeting the lyrics, and then I went to bed. And
I love it.
Talking about it this morning. Yeah.
No, I love it. I was already looking at what's going to be my next caption, Instagram caption.
Listen, I've been doing the exact same thing. So I hear you. I've been doing the exact same thing.
So let's get into it because I know, I've got so much to discuss with you. I think the first thing is I've already mentioned the amazing work you're doing, and also I don't use amazing as a throwaway. Like, literally, I don't know how you do it all, but we're gonna get to that. So you are writing a book. Your first book.
Finished, actually. Yes, so we're wrapped up now. So
the big O
is finally done. Yes, it's done. So I'm excited.
Amazing. So I wanted to ask, what made you want to write this book?
Do you know what? It's always been something I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to have, something that just reflects me in one book. And, instead of answering the same question where, girls might be like, I don't know if you've spoken about vaginismus, but would you touch on this? And I'm just like, I've spoken about this before, but the way with social media moves so rapidly. It's so quick that it's easy to miss any bit of content. So I do get it. You might have missed something that I spoke about 2 months ago. And to me, it might seem repetitive. But what I would prefer and what I would like is if people have a book that has, all my thoughts and opinions up until today about sex and relationships in one place. So that's really why I wanted to do it. And, I love to talk about sex. I love to talk about dating. I always have since a kid. And I say a kid, but I mean like a teenager. But yeah, since I was a teenager. So, that's pretty much why I've always wanted to create a book on sexuality.
I love that. I also love how you answered 3 of my next questions.
Sorry. No, don't worry. We'll get into it. Don't worry. I'll give shorter answers.
No, oh my God, don't. No, that means you, I love this. It's passion. And I love it. And I'm so excited to read it. Obviously, if we could get a cute little,
Yes, of course. Don't worry, we'll be with the press, the PR book. Don't worry. I got you. I got you.
So I'm gonna try and get a bit more info from you because I'm nosy and that's just what I do.
Yeah.
So obviously it's called the Big O, which I love.
Yeah. Double entendre. Yeah.
I mean, it's your just levels.
Yeah.
So does it follow the same like voice as your tweets? Because obviously you're quite personable, you have this community who loves you. Is it like a personable kind of first person narrative? Like, what's the voice of it? What can you tell me about
So
it?
yeah, it definitely is my voice throughout, and I think that's part of the reason I am where I am. I think it's because I try not to be robotic, or I admit that I don't always have the answers, but I'll tell you what I know and I'll show you the research of what I know. So, the book is still has my voice, it has my journey as well as the journey of other people's, because my journey in sexuality might be different from someone who, I don't know, is still figuring themselves out sexually. Like, so there's different journeys. It's not just my journey in there, but it has my experiences and it has my voice. Yeah.
That's amazing, and also very brave. I know like
Yeah.
you've been doing this for a while, but like it's
Mhm.
still brave to put yourself out there with such with a topic like this as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so thank you. I'm
No,
honestly
thank
so
you.
excited. And
Mhm.
are there any exclusive like little tidbits you can share with us?
Oh, exclusive bits. What I will say is, if you thought the threads that I did before are like messy or fun or like crazy or just make you want to scream, you will scream even louder at, what I have this time. Then it basically answers a lot of the bursting questions, that a lot of young women have asked me. So I don't know, for example, maybe
I love this.
something to do with like sugar babies. Like, I've never really been a sugar baby. I've never, but I understand that women want a bit of insight. So I did the work and I spoke to women who have actually been sugar babies, or,
Oh
who
my
can
god.
answer those questions. But that's just like the fun element, and I will say, I guess, exclusive tidbit. But again, there is the more the serious side of talking about sex and orgasms, etc. But there is also the fun part as well, which I consider it fun, because I think it's just, it's entertaining to talk to sugar babies or find out their experiences with sugar daddies and stuff like that. So there's that too.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yes, there
I
will be a lot of mess. Someone says we're getting mess. There will be mess. I had to like tell my editor today, can we actually include that
oh my
everything in here doesn't represent my thoughts, because I always get in trouble with the threads that go viral, and it's always, Oloni's condoning this, and I'm just like, I'm not condoning it, I'm just showing you what happens. And
okay.
exactly. And even though this is though people wouldn't see this as the highest form of journalism, I mean, I studied journalism when I was in university, and I did a lot of work experience and internships in magazines, and the magazines that I first picked up were Cosmopolitan. These were things that were written in there, maybe not as messy, but it was first experiences of women who did things, who shared secrets that they wouldn't really necessarily tell anybody else. And I
Yeah.
do the exact same thing. So, I had to quickly call my editor, like, oh my God, can we make sure we include that my thoughts or my opinions don't represent this as well? I don't want to get in trouble. I just want to show everyone what's going on.
No, but I love that because you're giving a platform, you're educating, you're
Yeah.
like demystifying. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is all important stuff, and like I feel like who even says what the highest form of journalism is, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like everyone always looks down at say romance books, and it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, that's high art, like a good
Yeah, it is.
scene in a book.
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
It is. It's true. No, it's true. It's true.
So
It's true.
I love that. Thank you. That was a very
Thank
exclusive
you.
tidbit. I'm very happy. I was like me just trying to, my good.
No, no
So
worries.
obviously you wrote a blog.
Yes.
Did you find like how did you find it transitioning from like writing a blog to writing a book? Did you find it different?
Oh, it was a huge challenge. No, it really was a huge challenge. I think for me, it was something that I had to make sure I was supported with along the way, especially working closely with my editors and just working with my sister, for example. Like, I had to make her read it over. Like, she's used to reading my blogs from when I was like maybe in my mid 20s that were nothing more than 700 words. And I'd have to get her to be like, okay, tell me what needs to be cut out. What should I include? Does this make sense? So having to do that with a whole book. Oh, if you're very close and near to me, you suffered. We all suffered together, like, because there was a lot of reading. fact checking that I had to do, because I guess to me, this is probably one of the biggest projects that I've done to date. And I just want to make sure it's been done properly, which is probably part of the reason as to why it's taken some time. But, nothing great is done overnight,
Right.
unless you're Beyonce.
Well, and I feel like as well,
Ooh, yeah.
that's
Sorry,
what
cut
it
out a
needs.
little bit. Okay, we're back. Okay, go on. Sorry,
No,
go
it's
on.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I was just saying,
Okay.
I think it's definitely taking the time it needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good thing. All right.
Yeah.
So, what books shaped you?
Ooh, what books shaped me? Oh, do you know what I will definitely say? Is it okay if I pick something from childhood? Can I do that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I would definitely have to say Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. I've enjoyed watching her journey, especially as an author as well. I've enjoyed watching her journey. That's fine. I've enjoyed watching her journey as a writer. I think her, like, I think when I was in school, that was one book that I was glued to. I had a best friend who was like a bookworm. I never really had that much interest in reading books, but I guess it can be true sometimes what they say, birds of a feather do flock together, because she influenced me to want to put my nose in books. And we were reading anything from Noughts and Crosses to, I think, what was it? It was Ugly, to books I shouldn't have even been reading. Books I should not have, yeah. Books I had no business reading. I remember when I used to go to school on like my bus, and I'd pay for my bus journey, and I'd like wrap foil around like the book covers, because I was reading these dirty ass American books that I had no business reading. Whew. But they were very steamy. Wow. So you just don't want anyone knowing what you're reading.
Are you there like in the corner?
Yeah,
like
exactly. I should. Did they even have age limits for?
Oh, you muted yourself. Hello? I don't know why it says muted. Oh, you're
Can
back.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was just moving on its own. It just anyway.
Technology.
Yeah, so
we have to do this in person next time. So that
yeah. So that is pretty much that was one book I would definitely say that shaped me. It was Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. She really had me like with my nose deep inside that book. And even when I think she did a theatre maybe 2 years ago for the adaptation of Noughts and Crosses, that show was probably going to be out like a year later, and I was probably one of the first people to buy tickets, because I was just like, no, I grew up reading about Seppi and Callum. I need to see that live, So that was definitely a book that spoke to me as a kid, and
I love it.
It was a lot.
Did you watch the BBC one?
I did. I watched the BBC one. Yep, I did as well. Yeah, I did. I think season 2's coming out. I need to catch up though. But no, the actors are great. I think they've done an amazing job. But yeah, no, Mallory Blackman is real. She's a treasure. She's a national treasure, honestly.
She's a treasure. Yeah. I also love that I'm getting like, you're actually a theatre babe, because I knew like you like Hamilton and stuff, but you're actually like a theatre babe. I love this.
I am. Low key, lowest of keys. Do you know what it is? It's literally, if you tell me that something is good and I trust your recommendation, I will do it. Like, my sister was the one who put me onto Hamilton, and I don't know what I thought that was going to be about, but I watched it, and now no one can rest. No one can rest. Like, it's just, I was there literally the other day, and we were second row up for the second time watching it live.
Loved it.
And yeah, it was really, really great. So I recommend anyone to watch Hamilton.
I second that. I loved it. Yeah. Fantastic. And I liked that they put it on Disney Plus for people, who couldn't get to the theatre. I thought that was good.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really good move. Honestly, I need to cancel my Disney Plus, because it's the only thing I watch on there as well. It's the only thing I've watched on there, and I'm just like, I don't even use Disney Plus. I think I've only used it to like probably watch Proud Family a couple times, but I don't see why I have it anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But Abbott Elementary's on there, so I watched
it. Elementary on there. Oh my gosh.
Go watch it.
that? I had
Yes,
no, I watch it, but I've been using this dodgy link. I didn't know it was on Disney.
yes, it's on Disney.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I need
yeah.
to.
So you were
Keep
speaking
it back.
about like noughts and crosses, what books shaped you, things like that.
Yeah,
And I want to know. Obviously, we're getting the go, which we love,
yeah.
and we're
Mhm.
excited. But would we get a fiction book from you? A steamy romance?
Ooh,
What
I
are you
don't see
thinking?
why not. I don't see why not. I think creative writing was always something I enjoyed when I was in school. I've never tried it, but I feel like I'm a woman of many words and I know how to be. I don't know if it's just the Nigerian and Yoruba in me. I feel like Nigerians are very, and Yorubas especially, we're very descriptive with our words, especially in our mother tongue. So
Yes.
who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yes.
Possibly. But
Very
as for
descriptive.
now, I know that I do not want to write a book for some time. I'm just like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know if
no,
I
I
want to
hear
do
you.
this. Yeah,
It's a
it's a
lot, isn't
lot.
it?
It's a lot of work. I was ghost from the entire world for several months, but now I'm just like, okay, guys, I'm back outside.
But I feel like
So
we didn't even know, like, your online presence is like A1. Like, do you know what I mean?
thank you. This is the thing. So Twitter to me does not feel like work, even though it is. So I have to remind myself sometimes that I'm actually supposed to be here to talk about sex because you can catch me on there talking about Hamilton, and Hamilton has
Right.
absolutely. I have to find a way to worm it into like talking about dates and relationships because I'm just like this has nothing to do with sex. Why are
It,
you talking about this? But you know, I realize that people don't just enjoy seeing me talking about sex and seeing crazy threads or text challenges or blogs, but they do enjoy my commentary if we're all watching Love Island together, for example. So there's that.
yeah. And also people are engaging in you, which means that they'll engage in your work.
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
that's
Exactly. It works out. It does, yeah.
well, I'm excited for the book, and I should
Thank
let
you.
everybody know that it comes out on September the 29th.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
correct. And I feel like you can definitely pre-order it now, right?
Yeah, you
I'm right.
can. You can pre-order it.
Yes.
Yes, you can. You
Let
can. We should be
everybody
doing
know
a
that.
cover reveal soon as well, which I
Oh,
can't wait. Yes, I know. I know. I'm
oh my gosh, okay,
excited.
we'll be reposting it. Don't worry, we've got you.
Yes.
We've got you.
Thank
Um,
you. Appreciate
but
it.
everybody go pre-order. I'm excited. I'm actually genuinely like, yeah, I'm excited.
Thank
Um,
you.
so let us talk about your work. Obviously, you
Yes.
mentioned your Twitter and how it doesn't really feel like work, but you do have a huge online presence, right? And
Hmm, hmm.
I guess, how do you manage that being a highly visible Black woman? Like, how is that for you?
Oh, it's difficult. It really is difficult. There are the benefits to it. There's the benefits of, if I want to be superficial and say, if I was to message a hair brand, I know I'm gonna get an immediate response. But then
Love it.
there's the negative side, which if I wasn't as strong as I was, I would think to myself, I would have left this space a very long time ago and my mental health would have been in tatters. But I kind of remind myself that maybe it's Nigerian in me, like you're not the only person. Are you the first person that's collected abuse on this online before? Do you know what I mean? So that's how I have to like program myself, like you're not the only one who's going through it. But sometimes it kind of feels like I am, especially in this space where I talk about sex and relationships, where I don't want to say I was the first Black woman to talk about sex, but I feel like I can say I pioneered some conversations that
I
weren't
was
happening, and
I
to
was
this
gonna
extent.
say, yeah.
Yeah, and to this extent. So I feel like, sometimes when you feel like you're kicking down the door, it's the person who's kicking down the door who gets a lot of the flack. But then
Yeah.
you're letting other people in who do not receive half the abuse, half the questions, half the I don't know, half anything, half the negativity that you do. So there does come that side as well. But I just persevere and keep my eyes on the goal because I remember a lot of the things that I did in the past. And I tell myself, had you continued and ignored all that negativity, do you know where you could have been?
Right.
So I've stuck to keeping that mentality and, having the right people around you who are not going to be a yes man and who are going to tell you to drown out the voices is also a good thing that usually does help me as a highly visible Black woman.
Yeah. I love that. And I think, I mean, I see that you're being modest, but
That's
like,
the thing as well. When you are a Black woman, apparently you've got to be modest. Like I would love to blow my own trumpet, but sometimes I'm just like, this is gonna make people dislike you, and it puts people off. Or people may see you as competition, and it's just like, well, if I make you uncomfortable, that's between you and your maker. But
Okay.
I've been here for a very long time, so I should be able to talk my shit. So I pick and choose.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can confidently say,
Yeah.
you were the first.
Yeah.
I think we can confidently say this,
Thank
pioneer.
you. Oh, thank you.
When you was trying to hold back, I was like, but no, but yes.
Yeah.
Definitely, and you definitely changed the game. Like, we were going to talk about it, but I mean, the threads, like, yeah.
I need to open this bubbly. Ooh. Yeah. But I'm listening.
No, it's fine. Honestly, enjoy. That's what it's there for. So apart from like surrounding yourself with like friends and people who love you and stuff like that, how else do you protect your peace? We think we speak a lot about like as Black women having boundaries and protecting our peace. So how would you say like you practice that?
I think I look for things that make me happy, and I like to keep some parts of my life private as well. I think that when you keep some parts of your life private, it allows you to have a lot more peace. I think I would also say family as well. I feel like my family keep me really grounded. I have a really, really tight unit with my mum and my sister. We're extremely close and everything. And my sister is honestly, she's like a PR person for me. She usually shows me a timeline of what happens. She'll be like, I'll tell you what, you entertain that, and do you know what you've done? You've given them clout. And when they end up on Love Island, I don't want to hear shit because you did that. Because you did that. And I'm just like, do you know what? And if I do react, she'll be like, well, look, I told you not to, and look what's happened. Now they're gloating, and now look what you've done for them. So those are just, do you get what I mean? Like some examples of what she might do. So she does keep me grounded. She will show me what the future will look like if I don't, And I think everybody needs a person like that, especially a Black woman who is hyper visible. You need someone on your team who could talk sense to you. You don't need people who are going to be a yes man. Obviously you need people who are going to talk life into you. I need, I think everybody needs people who are going to speak life into them. But I think it's especially important for Black women because this world is just not kind to us. This world is not kind to you if you are darker than a paper bag. So it's just important to make sure that is something that you have around. And I think therapy as well. I tried therapy for the first time the other day. I thought it was quite interesting. Woo! Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I definitely do it again. Maybe with someone different, but I thought and she wasn't bad. I think what it was that I went on her socials and I said, "Ooh, this girl's too I could tell she's like one mutual away from like Black Twitter. When you're just like, oh, that's too close. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I don't think your therapist should be able to be one mutual friend away from you.
Yeah, no.
It's not a good look. Yeah, it's very awkward. I will definitely try it again. But I definitely feel like it's so important that Black women do things that make them happy because the world basically tells you or predicts what your future outcome will be by just the treatment we get. So I'm waffling now, but I hope I answered.
You're not waffling, and I think like that's exactly why we set up Black Girls Brunch, because it's like who writes for us the most is actually Black women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So it's not waffle at all. It's actually facts. So no, I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
Are you okay with the bottle? Is it okay?
I am. I'm scared. That this is
no, don't. Who's that guy who like lost his eye or something?
Oh my god, that was Theo. There we go. We got it. We got it. Yeah. We just
is it warm? Because I feel like you just took it
out. No, I put it in the fridge. I put it in the fridge as is because there was chocolates in there as well. So I said, let me keep the chocolates cold and stuff because it will melt if it's outside. It's literally, I don't even know how hot it is today. It feels like it's in the 30s, but yeah.
The heat's actually been mad. So you're huge on Twitter.
Yes.
And obviously, I mean, I have frequently here, but you basically always have trending topics, viral
Yeah.
tweets. Like, let's not be. Do you know what I mean? Fantastic,
Yeah.
amazing stuff.
Thank you.
And we were talking when I was like preparing for this. I was talking with the Black Girls Brunch team. We were like, obviously, that in itself is a form of literature and a form of storytelling, right? Because you're telling stories, you're telling other people's stories.
Mm-hmm,
Was
mm-hmm.
this a conscious decision, or did it just kind of like happen and then you went with it?
I think with the thread, it was so interesting because I feel like a lot of the content that I make is by accident. I don't mean for things. I just have a very troublesome personality. Like, I'm very troublesome. I think I never used to get it. Like when my friends would greet me and say, "Hello, trouble," and I'd be like, "I'm not trouble. What have I done?" I've always got a little plan up my sleeve. So I remember this was like one evening in 2016, and my best friend was on the phone to me, and he was trying to tell me something, and I was just like, "No, watch, I'm going to take over the timeline." And he was just like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." Like, he was too busy trying to tell me his own plan. Like, I think he was doing something. He runs a music blog and platform called Spotlight First, and he was doing something, I was doing something. I was just like, "Watch this." And then that was the first time I ever said, "Ladies, shall we have some fun?" And
Ugh,
then women started
iconic.
sending, yeah, then women started sending all their like post stories. And of course, men were shivering, men were throwing up. What weren't they doing? They were speaking in tongues, rolling around on the floor. Like, how dare women have sex the way we have sex? How dare you? It must stop. So, that in itself was an accident, but I find it hilarious that I use that tagline, and I continued using it anytime I do want to stir a bit of trouble on social media. But yeah, everything is usually, I never ever sit down and think, "Oh, well, this is how I'm going to create some content today." It's just
Yeah,
whatever comes to mind, to be honest, and I
it's
roll with it.
genuine.
Yeah, it really is. It really is genuine. It really is genuine.
I love that. And I was gonna say, I mean, it's iconic. Like, it's literally iconic. I will remember. I
It's
have
really good.
such fond. Oh,
This is really good. Sorry. I was like,
is
it's
it not
really
good?
nice. No, I said it's
Is
really
it,
good.
oh,
It's
okay.
really good. No, it's really good. Yeah.
I was about to call up and be like,
No, 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 no. It's really nice. I love it.
um, I was saying I have such fond memories of being at uni and seeing your tweets, and then like
Oh,
going to ask my like guy friends their like stupid questions or seeing their reactions and like like have like it's just about having fun, right, and being part of that community. I love
that's
it.
all it is. That's all it is. I think that's like, I feel like women are too afraid to ask their partner dumb questions. And I know people will be like, why are you allowing Oloni to like get you in trouble? You guys are going to ruin relationships and da 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 da. And I personally think if your relationship can be split up by my silly questions, then is it really that strong? And you should be able to size up the type of person you're dating and knowing whether it's a good idea. If you guys have just finished having an argument, then please
Maybe
don't
not.
ask us. Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, there's no question in this world that I can't ask my partner. There's no question in this world, silly, small, I don't care. Like, or maybe it's because I'm in my 30s now, and I just have I don't give a shit attitude anymore. But I feel like women should have I don't give a shit attitude in their relationships anyway. So I
Yeah,
think it's fun to ask your partner silly questions.
yeah, I think so. And
Yeah,
I think shows a safe and like stable relationship. Like, you can be comfortable, you can do what you want. I
exactly.
I frequently ask my partner silly questions, and
As you
he's got
should.
he's got to live with it.
You gotta
That's
live with
it.
it. It could be anything, because I feel like if you can't ask your partner, "Would you love me if you were a worm?" Can you really ask them about questions about your future? That's how you have to
Right?
break the ice sometimes. Like,
It's
some
true.
women, some women are too afraid to like ask their partner serious questions, and then they get into a relationship, and then there's this dysfunction going on. It's because you haven't had a conversation. You haven't
Mm-hmm.
had light conversations. You haven't had those serious conversations. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
listen, ask your partner all the questions in the world, please.
But even like, we're joking, but it even goes back to the whole like protecting yourself as a black woman, because if you can't speak to your partner, you're swallowing like your truth, you're swallowing, like, that is unhealthy, that's not good for you, right? You have to like get it out.
You do, you do. You should get it out. And I feel like the moment you feel like you can't ask the person you're in a relationship a question, you need to ask, is this really for you, or is there some work I need to do? Because it might not always be them. It might just be you not knowing how to, put your wall down. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Will we see, obviously, the cultural impact of your threads, as I mentioned, is amazing. It's great. It's huge. Are we going to be seeing your threads in this book? Are we going to be seeing your threads in a different book?
So there are definitely threads in this book. I think we've got threads about, so I can tell you guys some. So there's scandalous sex stories. Oh, have I frozen? Am I here?
Oh, no, I can hear you.
Okay, cool, wicked. Okay, so we've got scandalous sex stories. There's one about some crazy kinks. We've got stories about sugar babies. There's STI stories, so negative STI stories, and then positive outcomes with women who do have STIs as well, and how they've navigated their sex life and the responses of what their partners have been. So yeah, there's threads in that as well. So I'm excited and I can't wait to see. I would love to see the thoughts and opinions of what people have to say about them.
Oh my God, Oloni, I'm actually okay, because I need to stop saying it, but you don't understand. This is actually so exciting. What?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And do you know what, as well? I already know, like, when it drops and people start reading it and stuff, the quotes, the tweets I'm gonna see. Like,
it will do rounds. It will. Because even when I'm reading it, like I'm there convincing like my editor to let me publish. I'm like, no, it's gonna listen. I'm telling you, this is gonna hit. This is me. And they're just like, oh, but you know, the privacy. And I'm just like, I've got consent. Listen, me consent. Listen, this is the consent from everyone. Me consent, I've got it. But we need to publish this. This has to be included. So yes. I've had to do a lot of twisting arms or begging and pleading. So yeah.
Someone says they can't wait for this book. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Oh, sis. Thank you. Literally, oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait. So in terms of like when you choose, so back to specifically obviously your Twitter threads, when you like, especially when you get submissions, right, you see what people are saying, but obviously you then choose what you share, even though it's obviously very genuine and organic. It's almost like you also become like a curator, right? So would you say you see yourself as an editor, as well as all of your other titles?
Yeah, you know, I've never ever seen it that way as an editor, but in a way, yes, because as much as I love collecting stories, sometimes there are stories where I'm just like, no, this can't run, or you know, there might be something that that might make me feel uncomfortable about putting it out. So I think in my book I talk about consent and the various sides of consent, and I feel like there's more nuance in the book, whereas when it's on Twitter, I can't just lob a sex story where a woman's talking about how drunk she was and how amazing the sex was, because anyone reading that without any context, they can just pick it up and say, well, this doesn't sound consensual. But then I know that there are women who have enjoyed tipsy sex, or there are women, even on my podcast, who have said, oh, I had amazing sex, it was drunk. And even I'll have to sip it, like, you know, jump in and be like, but it was consensual, right? And they'll say, oh, no, it was consensual. Do you get what I mean? But when you're just reading it and someone's saying, oh, this was, you know, I have to be like, I can't really include that because you've spoken about being intoxicated. Or there are other stories that women will send me, and it might be a repetition of a story that I've had before. It might be too similar. And that's another thing. Like when I get threads and I'm doing submissions, someone will see a story and be like, oh, I relate to that. Let me send the exact same story. And it's just like, no, we want something different. That's the point. It's not supposed to be, you know, oh, I had sex on my period, and then you also tell me I had sex on my, like, no, we want something a bit different. So I do have to like slowly pick and choose and do a lot of reading. People be sending me paragraphs upon paragraphs. I'm just like, girl,
oh my God,
you need to make this shorter. No one's reading this.
We need a synopsis.
Yeah, unless you're a good storyteller. And that's the thing. If I feel like, okay, the storytelling is hitting, I'll post it, even if it's long, because I'm just like, nah, I like the way she told this story. And I might even ask for proof sometimes. There was a day I did the hygiene thread, and the stories were so gross that I was just like, I don't believe this unless you have proof. Wow. And some women were showing me proof of like how unhygienic these guys that they were dating were, and it was literally vomit. So it was interesting,
because that I think that was one that actually scarred me.
Like, I feel like
it changed me as a person. I was like, what is this that I'm reading? I had to rethink everything.
Absolutely.
We just, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens, especially me.
But I love that you kind of never maybe necessarily saw yourself as an editor, but then I also feel like, I know you had you've had a column and obviously you have your blog. Would you ever do something more like magazine-y or zine, or something that kind of like ties in all of these skills that I mean, I know you have your book obviously, but you know what I mean, away from that?
Oh no, I do. I mean, I can't announce it yet, but there is something that is coming out soon that will be me working with a magazine. So I'm excited. I can't give too much details yet, but yeah, but that will be very exciting as well. That will be very exciting because I grew up reading these magazines and wanting to work in magazines, and I wanted to talk about sex in print, and I feel like I've found myself, even though I kind of left to be like, oh, I'm doing this on my own, I kind of found myself coming back and being like, okay, now I'm doing this, but it's my name that's getting me here. It's what I've created off the strength of my name that is getting me here. So it feels great and a bit different. So I love that. I do.
Amazing. I love how we got a tiny exclusive as well. Another one.
I'm here to hook you guys up. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're all in this together. So anyone who's watching, you tell them that you literally have part of the deets for everything that's to do with the book. So yeah.
No, we heard it here first. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So we talk a lot about achievements. Obviously, how social. Oh, am I still here? Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And social media is very much like a highlight reel, a snapshot of your life and the good things that happen. So I thought it might be quite inspiring and helpful to know like how you deal with rejection.
So rejection in terms of like if I'm trying to get a gig, or if like what do you mean in terms of rejection?
I honestly think any form of rejection. So yeah, like a job, not really relationship, more like a job or a career,
Okay,
rejection.
well, this is where I get into my Leo bag now, because I always tell myself that this person's going to regret it. I say it in my love life, I say it in my work life. There's nothing in this life that I've ever said to myself, this person isn't going to regret not going with me. Or even if they don't regret it, I will see you at the bottom. Well, I'll be at the top and I'll wave back, I'll wave down at you. And not to say that I'm better than, but it's just that you didn't believe in me, but let me show you what believing in your own hype means. And I know I have really surprised a lot of people that I've worked with, a lot of people who have come, who have been part of my life, even if they're not there now. Sometimes I get my friends who tell me, oh, I remember like when we were in that journalism class and you always said you weren't him, you might not know my name today, but you'll hear it tomorrow. That was me. Like that was something that I said, and it's something that came to pass. So I feel like the way I deal with rejection is just knowing that there'll be other opportunities, there'll be bigger and better opportunities, and maybe it'll be your time then, and you'll be ready, prepared for it. Because there's been things I've been given, and I'm just like, was I even ready for that? Imagine if I got it today, maybe I would have executed it even better. So I think instead of focusing on the rejection, think of what you can do to make sure you are better and better prepared for the next opportunity that's even bigger.
I love that. That, and I mean, it's such a Nigerian response as well, I feel.
Yeah.
That's such a Yoruba babe. Like,
yeah, it is. It really is. I think it's a mixture of being a Leo as well, honestly. I'm just like,
oh gosh,
yeah. For real.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly. But it's true. Like, honestly, there's so many times I'm just like, okay, don't worry. Like, there'll be other opportunities and there'll be better ones, and you'll be prepared for it. So it's good. It's okay. It's all right.
I love that. Thank you. That's I like you. Do you know what? It's even inspired me. It's true. Like, are you? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So he's gonna be so embarrassed, but my boyfriend loves your podcast.
Oh my god! Tell him shout out to him. Oh, I need to even edit the latest episode. Oh my god.
Oh, he was even saying, he was like, yeah, she tweeted recently. I was like,
awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it.
And like, I know a lot of other people learn from your podcast. As well as being entertained, because it's hilarious. What is one piece of like sex education or advice that you want everyone to know?
A piece of sexual advice that I want everyone to know is that above all, consent is always mandatory, but there is beauty in checking in with your partner, and there is a way to do it sexually and romantically. So I think that's one thing I definitely let people know, because there's always the argument of no, consent is mandatory and it's the most basic thing, and I absolutely agree. Nobody agrees more than the person who's doing the work, which is me. I go into schools, so to tell me, that consent isn't sexy, it's mandatory. I know this. I go into school and I teach these kids this, but it's also sexy. And I feel like when I'm in the bedroom, there's nothing sexier than hearing my partner say, "Do you enjoy this? Would you like me to continue? Do you want me to stop? Do you want this?" That is still asking me for consent. And I feel like when people hear the word consent, it's immediately associated with, just a trigger warning I just want to give, just in case anyone feels away, and that's completely fine. So if anyone just wants to mute for a bit, that's fine. So just sexual violence. But if anyone does feel like when people hear the word consent, it's immediately associated with rape, and although there is so much truth in that, consent also means allowing your partner to check in with you sexually and in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like we need women, I really want women to communicate with their partners in the bedroom in order to have better sex. And above all, I want men to do the same thing as well, because heterosexual women are not having sex with themselves in the bedroom. They're having sex with men. So yeah, that is definitely one piece of advice. Yeah, exactly.
Or people, but yes.
Yeah, or people, yeah. So I want people to understand that, and probably get a sex toy as well. I feel like every person needs a sex toy. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I love that. And no, thank you. That is a really important message. So I'm not gonna add to that, because you said it. Thank you. Amber is stealing my thunder.
Hi, Amber. Shout out to you.
She says, what would you say to your younger self? Do you want to take this?
Ooh, what would I say to my younger self? It would be, do not quit on any of your dreams, no matter how silly they feel at the time. Do not quit. And I would tell myself to continue focusing on myself and what my goal is, not the goal of the industry or trying to be a part of the industry. Because I think I grew up wanting to try and get my foot in through working for all these magazines or working for these big corporations and thinking it was a big deal. But it's so interesting how times have changed. These corporations are chasing influencers. I'm sure they want to be involved with Girls Brunch UK, and it's interesting because it's just interesting how things change. So if you believe in your own hype, everyone else will too.
Amen. You better just preach. I know we don't have you for much longer, so I'm going to race through the last few questions, because I don't want to.
Listen, I'm not doing anything else tonight, so it's all good. You can have me as long as you like. It's all good.
Yay! So we spoke about rejections. Sorry. Thank you, Amber. Great question. We spoke about rejections. So I want to know what career accomplishments makes you the most proud. If you could just pick one, what is oof?
What accomplishment makes me the most proud? Oh, I would definitely say it has to be my book. Finishing my book. It's got to be the big O. Honestly, I've put so much sweat, so much days, so many nights into this book. So much love, so much passion, so much research, so much care as well. Into this book. So I think it would have to be the big O. It's something that has been in the making for many years. And I think being able to say that I had 7 publications, being trying to fight over this book deal, just shows me that, how amazing this is about to be. So, I would definitely say my book. Nothing can top that. I think this is it for me.
I love that. No, congratulations, honestly.
Thank you.
And I probably should say this, but I don't really like non-fiction books. But this is the one book I'm actually looking forward to. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
I'm actually wow, I'm actually excited. I want to read it. Do you know what I
Thank
mean?
you. I
So,
can't wait. Thank you.
you should feel so proud, honestly.
I appreciate it.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
I feel like my light keeps flashing. Anyway,
Oh.
so I got a bit of a cheeky, nosy question for you.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
What was the first thing, or the biggest thing, you treated yourself out? You treated yourself to, like after your like first major paycheck.
My first what? So in general, like the first ever big paycheck I got.
Yeah, you know, like the first one, you're like, yeah, this is it.
I think I did something with my mum and my sister. I'm definitely sure that I probably took my sister to like a spa. My sister's a spa whore. She loves a good spa. So she's always she's been putting me on spas for like the last 10 years, I would say. So I'm always doing something with her. I feel like I don't have a choice, to be honest, because if I go to a press event, she just feels like she's the plus one and nobody else gets to say. To the point that my friends will be like, do we need to battle with your sister to be a plus one? And I'm just like, she's my baby sister. What can I do? She calls the shots. She calls the shots. So
I have three little sisters.
Really? Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
And you just feel like, you do feel like the mother hen, don't you? So you're just like, well, that's my baby. Like, what can you do? And you've got three, so...
Oh no, and two of them are twins as well, so it's just
really
it's fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, I was going to say, because you mentioned the spa, was it, where did I go? The Four Seasons.
Yeah.
This is not an ad. The Four Seasons has a really nice spa. Like, it was top notch. I don't know if you've been there yet, but
I haven't.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Okay.
Do you have? Oh yeah, this is the big one. Well, not the big one, but do you have any future plans, projects, anything else we should know about from you?
Do you know what? Right now, I think that the only thing that my eye is on is my book, and I would say my podcast. So, I think hopefully maybe towards the end of this year or maybe early next year, I'd like to do a live show, but. Yeah, who knows? But I'd like to. Yeah, no, I'm excited too because I've been like, okay, you need to do a live show. We need to do another live show. But right now, it's just getting the book out and having fun with that, doing a press event for that as well, and just enjoying that moment and resting for just a little bit and just focusing on the podcast because, again, this book has been a lot for me. I don't know how people who have written second, third, or fourth books do it because, again, when I was with my editor the other day, she was just like, "Oh, maybe for the second book you can." I said, "Which second book?" I said, "Who told you I'm doing this again?"
This is it.
I tried to put every info that I know about sexuality in this, but if I can think of a different concept, then who knows, maybe. But as for now, I'm just like, I don't want to hear book or deal for a very long time. I don't. I'm grateful.
I don't want to hear publisher.
I don't want to hear publisher. Nothing. But it was a very great experience. HarperCollins were amazing to work with. But yeah, that would be the main thing that I'm thinking about right now.
Good. I love it. Yes, I'm also writing a book, so I'm excited to be where you are.
Congratulations. What's your book called?
Oh, I'm not allowed to tell you.
Oh, you're not allowed to tell me. Oh, I've been giving you all the tea.
Yeah, but yours is finished.
You just said yours is finished. You just said yours is. See what happened? You give someone all the tea and they be like, anyway though. No, I'm joking. I know it. I understand. Sometimes like people there can be funny or like little contract bits where you're just like, okay, I can't discuss this just yet.
Yeah. Yes, and I might, and actually, it's funny because it was from one of my last interviews that I got my agent because I had mentioned, because I'd mentioned I was writing, and she emailed me, was like, "Hey, you mentioned you're writing. Do you have anything for me to read?" And then from that, she signed me.
Oh, that's amazing! Yeah. See, that's why it's important to put yourself out there. Talk about what you do, because some people, they'll be writers, but they don't talk about it. They just, they just say what they do as their 9 to 5. But it's just like, you are more than your 9 to 5. If you have extra hobbies, or if you have, you enjoy creating content, you better talk about the content that you make, because you don't know who's listening, you don't know who's watching, and you don't know who's going to call you and sign you.
Exactly. And it goes back to what you said about us as Black women. We can't really like say XYZ. Always kind of like, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay, last question for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, it's the penultimate. Sorry, it's penultimate.
That's fine.
But
It's okay.
Okay, what is your brunch order?
What is my brunch order? Ooh, I'm very basic. I apologize, but I'm definitely a prosecco, chicken and waffles type of gal. That
Love
is
it.
me. Yes, that is me. That is definitely
Love
my
it.
brunch order. Yeah.
You put syrup on the
Do you know what? I just don't feel like if you're eating chicken, that syrup should be on it. So if I'm eating waffles separately, then yes. But with chicken, I'm just like, this doesn't taste good. It's like sweet and salt. I'm just like, that doesn't. I mean, for me, if it works for
Okay.
you, then that's fine. But for me, I'm just like, this doesn't taste right. So I don't really put it on.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then my last question is, if you could have brunch with anyone,
Ooh.
past, present, future, dead, alive, everything, who would it be? One person.
One person. Oh, that's so difficult because I'm thinking of two women right
Okay.
now. But I'm just thinking about who would be fun to sit down and talk with, where it just be
Right.
like you guys would be laughing. And I honestly have to say it would be Cardi B
Oh,
because she is just full of life and laughter. And when you're at brunch, you are tipsy, you're sharing stories, you're accidentally telling stories you shouldn't even be telling.
yeah.
And I feel like she would have me peeing myself. So
Yes.
it would definitely it'd probably be that. Yeah, it'd probably be Cardi.
I love that. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Good choice, actually. I don't
Yeah.
think I've heard anyone say Cardi B, so good choice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Just before, I mean, Oloni, you have been amazing. I was so
Thank
nervous,
you.
but
Oh,
I'm
don't
like,
be. This has been fun.
yeah, I know, right? I was like,
Mhm.
oh. Thank you so much. Guys, as we said, Oloni's book is available to pre-order now.
Yeah.
I've put a link below that you can connect with her on Instagram, Twitter, obviously support her. I'm sure most of these people are your fans, but support her. She's amazing, as you can see.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, honestly.
Thank you for
This has
having me.
been
I appreciate
great.
it. I appreciate
Thank
it. And I
you.
better find out what your book is called soon. I
You're
need the
going to be
link.
getting the proof. You're going to be getting the
Yeah.
advanced author's copy,
Yes.
and I'm going to
Thank
be needing a
you.
little, blurb from you.
Yes.
This is great.
I would love it. Yes. Don't worry, I'll hook you up. That's fine. That's fine. I've had great fun being here today. Thank you so much for having me.
You. Oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
I will. I'm going to enjoy these chocolates as well that came with the prosecco. So that's me for today.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
watching. And yeah, I'll see you soon.
Right, bye.
Bye.